Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Muhammad Amin Carlos. The decision to not allow immigrants to perform prayers at mosques and surahs nationwide remains in effect until the situation in the country gets better. Now, Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Ahmad Marzouk Shari, said this after considering the safety factors in order to prevent another COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Ahmad Marzouk explained the decision was made due to the fact that majority of immigrants in the country are working as construction workers who might have come into contact with COVID-19 patients.
Pun begitu, kita akan bertolak ansur daripada masa ke semasa dan perbincangan di peringkat mesyuarat khas menteri-menteri yang sentiasa kita bangkitkan untuk memberi sedikit keselesaan dan juga kelonggaran kepada kehadiran ahli jemaah di masjid ini. Termasuk kita akan pertimbangkan pada masa akan datang sekiranya keadaan sudah agak sesuai dan terkawal.
Tenaga Nasional Berhad has assured that the Bantuan Prihatin Electric additional aid announced by the government on Saturday will not affect its operations or provision of electric power services to consumers. Its chairman, Dato Sri Madzir Khalid, said though 4 million consumers would be enjoying free electricity supply for 3 months, matters pertaining to TNB infrastructure maintenance would go on as usual. In the meantime, Dato Sri Madzir said TNB would intensify its consumer briefing sessions to give the public a better understanding on the aid and how consumers are being billed according to the tariff block and rates. He added consumers could also seek assistance at the TNB kiosks or contact the TNB care line. On Saturday, Energy and Natural Resources Minister Dato Dr. Shamsul Anwar Nasara said 4 million or 52.2% of domestic users of electricity with a monthly bill of up to 300 kilowatts usage will enjoy free supply for 3 months under the Bantuan Prihatin Electric Scheme. The Chini by-election campaign period has entered its third day and all candidates have started to face some challenges under the new normal of campaigning. Now, even for Barisan Nasional candidate Muhammad Sharim Mat Zain, who has been involved in election machinery before, said the campaign had to be run with strict adherence to the set standard operating procedure or SOP. Muhammad Sharim said previously campaigns were all about meeting and greeting the voters. However, he now had to revamp the campaign schedule with a more moderate but effective approach.
Kita apabila untuk mematuhi SOP, maksudnya masyarakat Freda ini, terutama di kawasan Bandar Chini itu dia lebih kena dia lebih kita perlu bersalaman tu. Tapi apabila kita dah mula boleh ditegur untuk ni, kita akan patuhi. Maksudnya kita memberi penangan pada pengundi bahawa menjaga patuhi SOP yang telah ditetapkan oleh SPR dan MKN. Maksudnya kita menerangkan balik, maksudnya tangan mengikut apa yang telah diletakkan.
Now, the country's imported rice supply has not been affected despite the global COVID-19 pandemic. Agriculture and Food Industry Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ronald Kiandi explained this is because the country's rice production has been running smoothly despite the implementation of the Movement Control Order, the MCO, in March. The minister also said there have been no concerns so far from the nation's sole rice importer, Padi Beras Nasional Berhad of Bernas, on the matter, and gave his assurance that imported rice supply and domestic production are capable of meeting local needs. He said that about 70% of our rice has been produced in the country, while only 30% were imported from other countries.
Pengeluaran beras ataupun penanaman padi merupakan antara industri yang diletakkan sebagai essential services. Berarti semua pengeluaran makanan yang berkaitan dengan pertanian diizinkan ketika PKP. Jadi kalau ada masalah, itu merupakan masalah SOP. Tetapi dari segi dasar kerajaan, pengeluaran hasil pertanian termasuk penanaman padi dan pengeluaran beras dan sebagainya dikecualikan.
On another note, Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald also announced that appointment of Sikh MP Ahmad Tarmizi Sulaiman as the new Muda Agricultural Development Authority or MADA chairman, effective 16 May until 15 May 2022. Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) will be reviewing the services of more than its 1,000 internet centres nationwide. Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said the ministry has also instructed Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation and MDEC to check and improve the content of programs conducted in the internet centres.
Tolonglah jangan siapa-siapa tubuh dulu pusat internet buat masa ini, kerana kita dah ada cukup banyak. Yang perlu ialah semak kegunaan pusat internet, dan kita minta supaya SKMM menyemak, sebab kebetulan dia banyak menyemak kedudukan, apalagi sebab banyak yang boleh kata semua tutup semasa COVID-19 baru buka semula. Jadi nak semak keupayaan masing-masing, dan saya dah minta supaya MDEC juga menyemak konten. Bukanlah nak cek orang lain punya, tapi nak semak konten supaya kita boleh perbaiki.
The Gemas Johor Bahru Electrified Double Tracking or EDT Rail project is expected to be completed by October 2022. The Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad, said the 192-kilometre rail project worth 9.55 billion ringgit is now at 60% completed. Datuk Seri Mustafa also said that the rail project will not experience any increase in overall cost, even though it is expected to be completed 1 year later than the initial date. He added that the project will connect the East and West network routes, thus able to boost nation's economic growth.
Kelewatan 1.6% ya, mana bolehlah cover, dan atas sebabnya mungkin kerana COVID lah, 2-3 bulan ni ada masalah. Bila kerana syarikat ini ada pengalaman ya, mungkin kita menolonglah. Semoga mereka akan dapat bersiap kalau jadualnya Oktober 2022 ya. InsyaAllah. Jadi 2 tahun lagi projek ini akan siap. Jadi ini akan melengkapkan seluruh rangkaian dalam Malaysia.
The Gemas Johor Bahru EDT Rail project spans 192 kilometres and will have 11 stations, including Segamat, Kluang, Labis, Bekok, Paloh, Renggam, Layang-Layang, Mengkibul, Kulai and Kempas Baru. Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency detained an oil tanker and its 10 crews suspected of illegally supplying diesel to foreign vessels. Now, Commandment Maritime Director, Maritime Commander Rashidil Hadi Abdul Rashid said the crew consists of 5 Thai and Cambodia nationals aged between 20 and 63 were detained at about 159 nautical miles off Kuala Kemaman Beach. Now, Commander Rashidil Hadi said the vessel that was registered in Bangkok, Thailand, was detained in an operation dubbed Ops Naga Barat that was carried out in Terengganu waters. The operation was conducted following a tip-off from local fishermen regarding a mother ship that had been selling diesel to the Vietnamese boats. Now, all crew members, including the 63-year-old captain, were brought to Commandment Maritime Headquarters for further action. Investigations found that the crew did not have any documents or shipping insurance. The case is investigated under Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, which carries a jail term not more than 2 years or 100,000 ringgit fine or both. 2 individuals were killed as their car crashed into a heavy vehicle that was parked by the roadside. Now, Deputy Cebu Police Chief Superintendent Colin Babat in a statement said the incident happened at 9:30 p.m. at Jalan Salim Stabau, Cebu, Sarawak. Now, Superintendent Colin also said that during the incident, the victims were trying to overtake a vehicle in front of them. However, the driver lost control of the car and crashed into the heavy vehicle parked by the roadside. Now, both victims died at the scene due to severe injuries and were later sent to Cebu Hospital for further action. Now, they were identified as Yong Ki Fong, 68, and Mok Hok Ming, 49. The driver of the heavy vehicle did not suffer any injury, but was also sent to Cebu Hospital for blood test. Well, a body of a man was found floating in Sungai Kelantan near Tambatan di Raja, Kota Baru yesterday. Now, the victim, aged 30, was found by a fisherman at about 3:30 p.m. after he noticed the victim's sandals on the riverbank. Now, Kota Baru Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Abdul Rahim Daud said the body was found intact. And the body was later sent to Raja Perempuan Zainab II Hospital for autopsy. Now, he said the autopsy revealed that the victim had drowned and the case was classified as sudden death. He said a missing person report was made by the victim's family on Saturday morning after he did not return home for more than 7 hours. A search and rescue operation was conducted by a team of fire and rescue and civil defense force personnel. Spain lifts lockdown, reopens borders. Now that and more. Well, the ASEAN Para Sports Federation, or APSF, has officially endorsed the cancellation of the 2020 ASEAN Para Games in the Philippines in October due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the decision was reached on Friday after APSF held its Board of Governors meeting via an emergency video conference chaired by the President of the National Paralympic Committee, NPC, of the Philippines, Michael Barrero, and attended by presidents from all 10 ASEAN NPCSs. APSF President Major General Osof Bavilay in a statement said Philippine Sports Commission Board Secretary for Julia C. Ianto had officially approved the cancellation of the Para Games for the protection and safety of all athletes and coaches, the workforce, participants and guests, as well as to support the Philippines government efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19. Bavilay said their main focus now was to ensure the smooth organization of the 11th ASEAN Para Games in Hanoi, Vietnam in December 2021. Vietnam will be hosting the ASEAN Para Games for the second time after a lapse of 18 years. It last hosted the second edition of the Games in 2003 when only 5 sports were contested. Bavilay also said that APSF would hold a preliminary meeting in December to deliberate and coordinate the organization of the 2021 edition with Vietnam's ASEAN Para Games Organizing Committee and other stakeholders. And that concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, imported rice supply, domestic production not affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Do join us again at 7 p.m. for more updates on the latest happenings here and around the world. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amin Carlos, and do stay tuned to TV2.